Hey, Christy. Okay, so we just got done, and sadly, we were had to leave kind of quickly, not in a bad way, not rushed out, but the next inspection, the next pre-inspection is coming through. So I think that means that our competition, there goes the inspector, is also doing a pre-inspection to try to waive their inspection, which is wise. So what you really care about is any items found. Ryan will get you the report, but it might not be till even, possibly even tomorrow morning. He's going to call you. But a small possible leak by the front door in the corner, most likely from the skylight. That couldn't be absolutely confirmed because it wasn't really very wet. He said his moisture meter read about 9. Which is just a little bit higher than maybe drywall should be at this time of year. And you could see a little bubbling of the paint in the corner. So he recommended, of course, there's a little bit of debris up around the skylight. Wipe that off, clear it out. So that sucks. I think it's pretty manageable. That's Amy's opinion. Of course, you are the one who gets to decide how manageable that is. A lot of times, some caulking and flashing around a skylight repairs any of those leaks. And then the bubbling of the paint, sadly, really the only way to fix it is to get it off and repaint. And sometimes it doesn't look quite as perfect. I obviously hadn't noticed that before. So it's just right. If you're looking at the door from the inside, it's top right, that kind of corner that just goes up there. Second, I'd say slightly bigger thing was the radiant floor heating. And I'm going to have to go back and read the seller disclosure. They did disclose that one of the heating elements wasn't working, but that they continued to have good heat regardless. Ryan's testing, he said he wasn't seeing a ton of heat difference. Now, he did admit that radiant heat can take a while to really warm up. But that he didn't see a ton of difference. So he thought that perhaps it just wasn't actually getting enough electricity to really, he said the unit appears to be 60 amp, and as far as the electrical panel, it looks like only 40 would be going to it. So we'll need to read through what they disclosed on that seller disclosure again. And he didn't see any, leaks or any issues like that. So he thinks it's something that's solvable, but would, of course, require someone who's like a more expert in radiant floor heating. And I was trying to think if there's any other things he told me about. He said where they put the deck, that upstairs deck that's like from the top bedroom over the little jut out of the living room. He said he's not seeing any great way to clean between the deck and that roofing. So then the needles collect there, and eventually that can, it's not a great thing. You want to be able to have it nice and clean and dry. So it's really more of a maintenance issue, but he just wasn't seeing where it would be accessible to get at that needles that are collecting below the deck. So, anyway, all of this comes down to, as the other inspector has now arrived, what this comes down to is you deciding, one, are any of these issues deal breakers for you? Two, if they're not, you are still allowed to negotiate for them now. We could include it in our offer and say, hey, seller, we want you to repair the heat system so that it's fully functioning. Now, remember, there is heat from the gas fireplace, and there is some small electrical heat that you just turn on and off. But that radiant floor heating, you could ask for them to have that serviced and repaired. Is that what you want to do in a competitive offer situation? Or do you want to just say, you know what, now I know, and I will address it when I own it? So there's some food for thought. I'm going to send this to you, and then I'm going to drive back to Oak Harbor, and I'll give you a call.